A major part of running an athletic department is developing a budget. It's probably the toughest too, or one of the toughest, because you're trying to make it fair and you don't have a whole lot of money. The directions for the budget assignment are as follows. Number one, you are to develop an equipment and uniform budget for 19 sports and a total of 41 levels of sport for an already established high school program. Two, allocate funds for office supplies and equipment. For example, paper that you may use, pencils, pens, computers, ink, anything that you can think of to run an office. I'm not going to give you all the answers here, but I want you to think a little bit. What does it take to run an office? I mean, do you purchase your own phone? Or is that something supplied by the district? Should you budget for that, and how much? 3, present a one-page budget sheet. Make it simple. Keep in mind that every coach is going to see what the others are going to get, what they're receiving. Be prepared to defend your budget to the coaches. 4, describe what items you will allocate monies for and list those items that each team will be required to fundraise for, and give your rationale on a separate sheet. In other words, are you going to supply uniforms, or are they going to raise money for that? Are you going to supply money for tournaments, or are they going to raise money for that? You can make it any way you want. You have some freedom here, but you have to justify it. The rules for developing this budget are as follows. You can transfer monies from one budget to another if you wish. 11 of those teams are usually scheduled in 2 tournaments per level at an average cost of about $300 in entry fee. You may choose not to fund any tournaments if you wish. That's up to you. You will also need to purchase such items as line chalk for fields and field paint to last a year. So you got to budget and plan for that. Use approximately $1,500 worth of chalk and paint per year. You may use other sources of revenue as you see fit to subsidize programs, whether it's booster clubs, fundraising, whatever you feel, but you have to justify it. Officials, transportation, football equipment reconditioning, such as helmets and pads, are not paid out of these budgets. You don't have to worry about that. That's going to come out of a different fund. Reconditioning and purchase of football equipment is paid for by the district. That's a major expense. Fortunately, you don't have to worry about it. The following is a list of your budgets. Number 1, instructional materials and supplies. That's supplied to you by the site principal. And each school will, be a little different. In our particular district, that's what each site gets. Each high school, there's 4 of us, and we all get the same amount, even though we're vastly different in population and in socioeconomic area. We're totally different, but that's what we get. The other supply budget, that's a working budget. That's given to you by the district. That's given to us by the district. It's $12,000 to use however we see fit, for uniforms, for equipment, balls, whatever we need. And then the repair budget, they actually put aside a $500 amount there just for repairs, which isn't nearly enough. So as you can see, you've got $15,200 in which to make work for the entire year, and you've got 41 levels of sport, 19 different sports to think about. You also have to think about supplies for your office. They don't just give you paper or computers or ink. You've got a budget for this. So as you can see, it's probably not nearly enough. If you divide it up equally, it's going to be a drop in a bucket, and it's not going to be enough. So you have to be creative here. So other sources of income may include the following: booster clubs or individual fundraising by each team. So you can be creative in this. You can pay for tournaments, or you can not pay for tournaments. You can pay for uniforms, or you can decide no, each team's going to raise their own. But you want to spend that $15,200, because if you don't, the district will take it back. It doesn't roll over each year. So use it. Be fair, and keep in mind, every coach needs to see what the other is getting. Otherwise, if it's not transparent, they're not going to feel like they can trust you. It's got to be transparent, especially if you're a coach, as I am. I'm the baseball coach. I have to be transparent. They have to see what I'm getting and what every other coach is getting, and we have to justify why we're giving certain teams more money. So I want you to be creative here. There is no, I'll tell you right now, there's no right way to do this. It's however you want to do it, but just justify it. Make it simple, make it easy. Easy to read, easy to understand. Good luck.